And I was saying, to be completely transparent, I am on a complete tour to make sure that my son gets accepted in 5 years. He's 9 right now. So anytime Bellarmine asks me to do something, I am there. So just to be completely transparent. And I did come branded both with my company and with Bellarmine, and it is so warm. When did it become like hot? I thought it was gonna be freezing. So what I'd like to do today, and time check, 20 minutes?
Yeah, thereabouts. We
Perfect.
get done at 12:50. So.
Well, all right, and I want to give you time. You guys, let me tell you what I would like to chat about. You tell me if this is what would be of interest to you. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my background, my time here, my time in Santa Clara, only because that's relevant to my marketing career. There's things that I learned and things that I did that to this day help me. I'll talk to you a little bit about my experience, work experience, and then why I love marketing so much when what I'm doing currently. And I'd love to leave you with a couple of mantras, things that I tell people when I chat with them about their careers when they come to me and ask how to get into marketing. Does that sound like what you would like to hear? Is that gonna be helpful? All right, perfect. Oh, and in the process, marketing is all about engaging people, right? It's about getting people to talk and communicate. It's about you to ask questions about my product, and I'm the product. So I have brought items to bribe you to ask questions. So when you ask a question, you get one of these items, you guys. This is branded stuff from my company. So the more interactive this is, the better. The more interactive it is, the more stuff you get, okay? So interrupt me, that's called being interactive if you have a question about something that I say. So I gotta refer to my notes because I only sketched them out last night. Usually I like to work without it. So I'm born and raised in this area, and unlike a lot of you guys, my parents are in tech. My dad actually started a company. I don't usually talk about this, but I will to you guys. He started a company called Advanced Micro Devices, which is a semiconductor company. So I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. I grew up, just like most of you, that education was the highest value, could get you anywhere, and hard work pays off. In fact, there were times I didn't see my dad because he would leave for work at 5 in the morning and not come home until midnight. But he worked so hard to create a life that allowed me to go to private school for my entire education. And he also definitely put the entrepreneurial bug in me. I saw what is possible when you work hard. My time at Bellarmine was great. It was also really hard, like it is just the way high school is. Here's what I love about this place. No matter who you are here, this Bellarmine wants you to be your best, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a mathlete, whether you love chess or speech or drama. So for me, it was drama. I was on stage, the incredible 1982 production of Grease. I'm sure people still talk about it today. That has helped me to this day. My ability to communicate, my ability to present. So what I've learned in high school has followed me, my God, what is it, 35 years later. That is something that when you look into your careers, you want to find the exact same thing. Work somewhere where they figure out who and what you are, and they give you the opportunities to do your best based on who and what you are. Don't put yourself into if you like marketing or if you like accounting, then do those things. Wake up every morning. I love when I get up in the morning. I can't wait to open my laptop after my coffee and see what the emails are. What happened during the night, because I have a global role. Make sure that you pick a career, and also that you pick a degree in college, that you wake up every morning, you cannot wait to get to class, because that will make your life so much better. So I went on from here to Santa Clara University. Again, education was a priority. I didn't have many choices, like I don't think you guys do. I was told I had to go to 1 of 3 colleges, and I was also told by my father I had to do a Bachelor of Science degree. Totally snuck around him, and I did a social sciences emphasis at Santa Clara. So I had to get a BS, he said, or he wouldn't pay. Typical engineer. And so I did the social sciences. I got A pluses in the social sciences, and I got Ds, I shouldn't tell you this, in hard sciences. So I got out there with a 3.3 average. I couldn't have been happier. Well, the reason I tell you that is I sort of figured out what I was good at, right? If I went and took a philosophy class, I got an A plus. I took that organic chemistry class. It was so tough. In retrospect, I probably should have majored in business. But again, and I know you guys are under this pressure, we've got to appease our parents to a certain extent, particularly when they're paying the bills. When I was at Bellarmine, I worked. When I was at Santa Clara, I worked. Back in my day, we worked. Your generation doesn't do it as much. I think your parents want you to focus on your studies, but I know in retrospect, one of the best things I ever did was work. I have a great work ethic. I actually picked up garbage when I was 10 in our HOA development, and I want my son at 10 to get a job. There's actually an opportunity for him to do the exact same thing in our condo building. Then when I was at Bellarmine, I worked at different jobs, and then when I was at Santa Clara, I got into retail. I worked at the Gap and I worked at Macy's. So yes, sir.
If you don't mind me asking, what type of jobs did you do like when you were younger or here at Bellarmine?
It wasn't until I was 15 and a half, right, that I could get the job, and I went down to the Gap that day with my work permit. I was so excited. So retail was really good. Then, and that was what I did predominantly in high school, like on weekends, probably like 6 hours a week, right? When I got to college, I worked a lot. I loved it. I worked at Macy's, right at Valley Fair. I worked like 20 hours a week because I loved it so much. To me, it was like a class. I couldn't wait to go to class all day. I would do a little bit of homework, and then I would go to work from like 6 to 10. It was just such a blast for me. Then I switched though. I said, okay, I kind of knew I wanted to go into sales and marketing. So I switched and I did things like worked at the school paper selling advertising. I worked in the law library during a time when I thought I might want to go into law. So I always tried to pick a job that was going to be relevant to me. It is great in the summer to be a lifeguard. You learn great skills. But if you think now you have an inkling towards marketing, then maybe try to find a job, even this early in your career, that might feed into that. I did it. I wasn't very aware I was doing it, but it got me my first job. Because when I graduated Santa Clara, I sent out, it was a recession, 86, sent out about 60 resumes on my typewriter. And the company that brought me in went in for the interviews, but they brought me in, they said, you sent us 2 resumes, one for the product marketing job and one for the inside sales job. But we really liked your experience and we really liked your tenacity because you thought you had all those skills. That got me my first job. So my education, of course, opened doors. They liked Bellarmine and Santa Clara. My experience, though, got me the interview, and who I was got me the job. So I started at a small distributor. Again, it was a recession, right? I was on inside sales. So you know when the phone rings and it's someone selling you something? That was me. It was the worst job I ever had. I had to call people and say, and this is what I would say, hi, I'm sure you wouldn't like to buy our product. Goodbye, click. I was terrible at it. I sold nothing. But what I was really good at was sending out, we literally didn't have email then, we sent letters in the mail. So I would create pieces that went out, I wrote them. I would come up with different reasons for people to potentially even call into us, like an ad that we ran somewhere. So I really quickly realized, oh, I'm not good at sales, I'm good at marketing. So within a year, I was out of that and I got my first marketing job at a software company. Yeah, oh, I didn't give you anything. Hold on. And now you're gonna get something second. That was a good question, by the way. And now here's your second. What is it?
What's the difference between sales and marketing?
Very good question. All right. A company, let's just use Silicon Valley. A company builds a product, right? The first thing is that product going to be sold to consumers, like everyday people, like an app that you buy in the App Store? Or is it something like we make at Pure Storage, a big flash array that stores all their pictures? Facebook buys them, right? When you upload a picture, probably goes and stores on our product. So engineering, right, makes that product. Then sales takes that product, goes out and sells it to people, right? Literally gets the contract, takes the money, gives them the product. Marketing's a step in between there. So they take the product and they say, well, this is all the great things about it. This is the reasons why we think someone wants to buy it. Then they package that up, and I'll show you in a minute, whether it's through our website, our YouTube channel, our social feeds, the events that we do, the trade shows we go to, the emails we send out. We tell the world, we're the best, we're the best. When you have a good product, they say, yeah, you are, like Tesla, or we're about to be $1 billion company, so we must have a good product. So marketing's in the middle of that. Then, a company, once it's installed, you hear things like the support and the service of it, right? So those are all the different phases. So another good question. Yes, sir?
What appeals to you specifically about marketing?
That's a great question. What I love about marketing is, I'm gonna run out of stuff, I have a feeling. You guys are good. What I love about marketing is, so at one point in my career, I did leave and go to LA to study to be an actor. And I realized you don't make anything. So I'm like, forget that. So what I love about marketing is how creative it is. Unbelievably creative. There are no 2 days to me that are the same. You do everything. There's different specialties in marketing. There's corporate marketing and field marketing. So there's all these amazing specialties. So it's highly creative. I think it's incredibly fun. The really fun part to me is we spend a tremendous amount of money in marketing to get people's attention. So that's a lot of fun. I travel all over the world. I'm at trade shows. I'm in meetings. I'm trying to get people to notice our product. So to me, it is so incredibly creative. At one point, I thought I wanted to change careers, and I went up to the Gap and Levi Strauss in San Francisco and interviewed. I would have made half of what I made, and it is not nearly, you think retail and would be so creative. Fashion, high tech is incredibly creative. Our product cycles change. They used to change every few years. Now it's every few months. So it is constantly changing. That's what I love about it, very, very much. Yes, sir.
I missed the first part of it, but how did you get into marketing instead of some other type of career, like say?
I'm not going back in time. No, of course I will. I got into marketing because I realized I sucked at sales, and that's the first job that I had.
Yeah, but how did you get to that job instead of something else?
It was the stuff that I was doing in a sales capacity, writing those letters, all that stuff. I taught myself a little bit because I didn't have a degree. And so I got my first job as a product marketing specialist at a software company, and I was managing, I think, their training products. So it was a little bit of sales oriented. So I kind of went from sales, bridged over to a job that has a little bit of sales in it, but more of the marketing, telling the world about the product all the time. Yes, sir.
How much has technology changed your job? As email and different stuff has come along, there's a lot.
Insane. You know what? Let me show you. That's why I hooked this up. You guys, it's crazy, and it's one of the things I really want you to leave with. When I started, marketing was sending a postcard, an ad that went in a magazine. Then internet started, 92, right? Then it went a lot of digital stuff. Well, a lot of stuff is finally caught on. Shoot, I gotta switch. Be able to though. I'm gonna show you some of these dashboards. Let's see if I can switch it up. What has happened in the last few years is all of the stuff we've been selling, right? We've been selling it to, first we sold it to engineers to design stuff on a computer. Then we sold it to accounting, to run the business on a computer. Well, finally, I'm getting this wrong one, shoot. If I can get this up, I will.
Anyone a Mac person?
All right, try. Maybe, you know what I can do? Let me come over here. If I can drive from this side. All right, there we go. All right, let me show you. Let me set it up in here and then I'll show you. All right, so every day I go into something called a beckon dashboard. So what is a company most concerned about? Sales, right? And profit. So I go into a dashboard that will show me every day the marketing that I invest, every dollar I spend. The expectation is for my company that I will generate $60 in opportunities, pipeline. Out of that, 25% will close and become business. So if they give me $1 million, I will generate 60 million in pipeline and 15 million in revenue. So there's a number over my head, and that is definitely a trend in marketing today, at least in business to business. So this is my scorecard, and I've never had this in my career, where every program, everything that I do, I can see the results of it. And I'm not going to walk you through this. What I want to do is impress upon you how much data is now a part of what we do. So this is what I live with on a daily basis. I know right now, in the quarter I'm in, I was supposed to generate 884 opportunities. I've generated 727. I am at 92% of goal, 82% of goal. In my marketing career, I've never lived with this. This is what sales always had, or engineers creating a product. You have to do this by this time. Marketing was just really fun. We spent money, we went around. This is so significantly changed now because Have you ever heard of that company, Salesforce? They track the sales. Then this product, Marketo, is all the marketing that went on top of it. So if I could give you guys a piece of advice in wanting to get into marketing, it is data-driven now. And people like me who are older, I've had to embrace this. This was tough for me to learn. So the last year, I forced myself. Every day, I made sure I presented these statistics to people. And this is not what you would think of traditionally with marketing. The world has dramatically changed because all the tools we've been selling for all these years finally caught up into the marketing world. Yes?
I have two quick questions. One is, what do you guys do at like your trade fairs? You guys go to?
Great point. Let me show you. It's the easiest.
And then, like, what kind of companies do you guys work with?
So our biggest customers are Google, Facebook. So what we make is a flash memory array. So all the data used to be stored on these humongous spinning disks. They were like washing machines, and literally magnetic disks spun. A few years ago, they realized that flash, the same stuff that's in your phone, was what data centers would use. So now, when you upload a picture to Instagram or Facebook, and you're like, 2 milliseconds is too long, that flash makes it happen really, really fast. So Facebook's our customer, Google's our customer, but now a lot of government stuff. Data is now the new currency, right? Every company has, think of a car. A car will generate like a terabyte of data a day. Where does that data go? Where is it housed? It's going to be on our product. Then some really smart people are going to take all that data, crunch it, and make the car drive even better.
Oh, so when we say something like the cloud, it goes to your guys' things.
God, you're good. Would you like to come work with us? You got it. There's some cloud stuff. Exactly. Hey, let me show you. You asked about trade shows. So right now, and I know we're jumping all over the place, but I would so much rather answer the questions that are in your head than me just drone on. So let me go to our site. I'll show you. We've got our biggest event coming up. Here we go. See if I can do this from over here. There we go, called Accelerate. This is our big trade show. Oops, gotta go one more. And so see our tagline, we make smart storage. So we like to think of ourselves as the Apple of storage. Like storage used to be really, really boring. And we've made it a lot sexier, a lot more interesting. Hopefully people want to spend a little bit more time with us because we're really fun. Like our events are known as being a lot better. Here we go, upcoming events. So right now, you guys are probably like this. We've got this whole sneaker experience across the country. I just put this together. In cities across the US, we're inviting our prospects, people who haven't yet bought the product. Even though we love our customers, we need new customers to keep growing. We take over Nike towns. We invite people to come in, they spend time with us, we present on our product, and they're given a $200 gift card to get a pair of custom shoes. And so this is happening all over. We're having 25 to 50 people attend each. In each one of these activities, we identify one or two of those opportunities, right? That thing you saw on that dashboard. That's someone who says, I'd like to use your product for my company to put our stuff in the cloud. Yes, sir.
So like, since this is a sort of Nike thing in marketing, are you guys the ones who get the Nike deal to get it going, or?
Great question. So a lot of the times companies will partner. In this case, we use a third party. They reach out to the Nike Town stores and then they pull us in. We actually have a partnership with Mercedes F1. So we pay a tremendous amount of money, millions of dollars, and we partner with them. And what that means is, and actually I'm doing this this year, I get to go to 6 cities around the world. Monaco, London, somewhere in Australia, Singapore. We go there, we do an event on Friday, we invite CIOs who are our biggest customers. When we see a CIO, we just want to die. They have all the money.
Folks who don't know what a CIO is.
Sorry, Chief Information Officer. That just makes me really happy. So I'm in charge of that program this year. So we fly them out on Friday and we have an event like this where we chat with them, tell them about our product. Then on Saturday, we take them to the Mercedes track. They see the Formula One, they meet the drivers, et cetera, et cetera. We pay for their airfare, we pay for their hotel, we take great care of them. And then at the end of that weekend, of the 20 people who attend, each one of them probably has a $20 million budget. If one or two of them say, come talk to me, we're ecstatic. So we have a lot of partnerships with different people. That was a good question, you get one of the coveted Nike shirts because you asked about Nike.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. What do you like, as someone in marketing? What do you think about, like, wow, what do you think about companies that operate at a loss, like on marketing?
Oh, terrible. We're operating at a loss right now. You have to for a while. So we've shipping product for 4 years. We're 7 years old. We should be operating at a loss. You shouldn't be operating a loss 20 years in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So operating a loss is fine. Some of my marketing programs aren't successful, and that's a really good mantra. When you make a mistake, big deal. Shut it down and move on fast. So if these Nike things didn't work, I wouldn't do them again. So the only time I believe in this creative, fast-paced tech world, if you blow it, is if you stay committed to a mistake. And you keep doing it over and over again. Yes, sir.
Are there any like big competitors that you have that like say some of us might know of? Like,
Yeah, so have you heard of Dell?
yeah.
So they just bought our competitor called EMC. So, and that's really cool because that means our competitor disappeared. Another company swallowed it up. Also, our biggest competitors is a company called NetApp.
Okay.
Those are the biggies. Yes.
So where does like your engineering and manufacturing take place?
We are headquartered in Mountain View, and maybe one day we could have you guys come up to Mountain View, and we'll show you around, show you all the different departments. I'll take you into marketing. You can see where we design all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was employee 800. We're 1,800 people now. About 1,000 of us on Castro Street in Mountain View. And then marketing's there as well. There's about 90 people in marketing.
And then where's your product made?
It is made in China, but it will now be made in the United States, according to President Trump. It's interesting not to pull politics into it, but I wonder, so most of us, our company is manufactured by a company called Foxconn in China. What's gonna happen? Apple just said, and that's kind of the intersection of politics and marketing. Will we be making things here? It'll be very interesting to see what happens because we do not manufacture anything in the United States. Most tech companies do.
Yeah.
Very few. Tesla is probably the only one right now I would say that manufactures here.
Yes, the engineers here.
Yeah, all our engineers are here. We don't do any of the reverse, like we don't have engineers in India or anywhere else. Our engineers are here. We're very cutting edge. We're doing stuff that's never been done before. You, sir.
So how does your engineering fit in with your marketing and your sales?
Great question. Closely. A good company, so I work closely with our CIO when we go out and do these F1 events. So when I hear all this stuff that these chief information officers say, like, oh, I wish that you did this, I wish you did that. I take that information and I hand it back to engineering. And they say, oh gosh, we didn't know they'd like us to do this. And then they tweak the product. And there's another group called product marketing that sits between me. So I'm out there trying to tell the world we have this. Product marketing does just that, defines the requirements of the product for engineering. A company that has all these groups tightly talking does well. And it's good you say that because there's so many different aspects of marketing. If you're more technical, go into product marketing. If you like the creativity of it, you're in field marketing like I am. There's so many different aspects of it that you can do. Yes.
For the engineers, what type of engineering are they in? Like what type of field, I guess?
What kind of engineers do we have?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Our company is very diverse. So we started by not hiring storage engineers. We hired engineers from different companies like Google and Facebook who knew the cloud. So we hired software engineers and hardware engineers. But we hired people from not the traditional background so that we could create a product like the iPhone that had never been done before. And for our company to go $900 million this year, 4 years in sales is pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
Yes.
For your stuff like cloud, do you, like if, for example, if Google wants to use your product, do you store the information for them or do you give them like the technology for them?
Oh my God, you guys, are you in high school? This is like some of our customers don't even get this. There's different models. They call it hybrid cloud. We don't store any of it. We either sell the product to Google or we sell it to another company that will do that for Google, and they're called service providers or AT&T, Verizon. But God, I can't believe you get the model. Crazy. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Wait, God, there's too many. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And you guys time. You got 3 minutes, right? Okay. Who did I just call? Who was 1?
1, 2.
Thank you. Go.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but what would be the salary that you receive?
Absolutely.
Maybe not yours.
Not mine personally. I know where you're going. Okay, so when I started, first job 19,000. Okay, we just hired a bunch of interns. I think they graduate. They make about 70,000 when they come out of college into our marketing department. I would say mid-career. So say someone who's got 20 years experience is probably making 125,000 plus bonus plus stock. If you're senior, you should be making 200,000, maybe 250,000. And if you're a VP, you could be making 400,000. Marketing is very lucrative. But think of that dashboard I've got. If I didn't deliver, I'm out. But I get bonuses, I get stock. I travel. It's a great gig. But I have a number hanging over my head. Yes, who's next? 2 minutes.
Going back to when you went to Santa Clara, like a lot of people are interested in Santa Clara, but they have the issue of it being so close to home. What was that like for you?
So I'm Italian, so we don't leave home. I lived at home until I was 26. So I'm not a good measure. I mean, I want my son to live at home. But I didn't have a curfew. My parents gave me a car. It was the best life possible. So I'm not a good one to ask because I loved it. I thought it was great. My parents live 2 floors above me right now. So I'm not the right person to ask.
3, I think. You were 3, right?
Harry, come on, you can do it. Go ahead.
So why is the CIO specifically so important for you guys?
That is the chief decision maker, like the president of the information world with the biggest budget. So they have all the money. That's why. Yes, sir.
So your event is Nike Challenge and Formula One. Was that an example of an opportunity?
The people who come, so the 25 attendees, when we identify a possible they potentially like to buy our product, then that's an opportunity to sell to them. And that's what I'm judged on. Nothing is a success.
Now let's give Mr. Botte a round of applause.
Guys, awesome questions. You made that so easy. Please come over here.
Thank you for bringing some gifts for.
Here, you guys, grab all this. I don't want to bring it home.
Thank you.
I'm trying to cop the shirt.
Grab in there and stick with everyone. Thank you, guys. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.